You replied to a text in 3 minutes. The other person took 5 hours. You noticed, they noticed, that you noticed, and now there's something in the air. Something that wasn't there before. You just lost. It's not about the message, it's about what you showed, that you were waiting, that you care, that this matters to you, and the other person saw it. And in that second, without anyone saying anything, the scale tipped. Now you're the one who replies fast, who's always available, who cares more. And that, in a way nobody explains, but everyone understands. Put you underneath. You see this happen all the time. The coworker who always offers to cover someone's shift never gets the favor returned. The person who always sends the first text after a while of silence. The friend who always plans the hangouts and waits for confirmations that never come with the same energy. These people didn't do anything wrong, but they showed something. They showed they care. And the social world has a strange rule. Whoever cares first, whoever tries more, whoever shows they need it, loses power. It's not meanness. It's worse than that. It's automatic. It's a system that runs itself. You show you care, people start treating you different, more distant, colder, like you broke a rule nobody wrote, but everyone follows. Think about a common situation. You're in a group chat with friends, planning to go to a concert. Everyone's excited in the messages. Then you say, "Okay, I'll buy the tickets and we'll split it later." You send the link, confirm who's going. Ask about rides because you want it to happen. You're pumped, and then you notice, responses start taking longer. That "I'll see if I can make it appear." People who are super excited are now kind of vague. And there's a different tone when they talk to you, like you became the annoying one who's pushing. But you're not pushing. You're just trying to make it happen. You just care. And somehow, that transformed you into the person who needs this more than others. Into the person trying too hard. And nobody respects someone who tries too hard. The vibe changed, and you don't even know exactly when. You just notice you became the only one chasing. That your friends now reply to you the same way they reply to spam. With that "I'll check it later" energy. And the more you try to save the plan, the more distant they get. Because now it's obvious. You need this. You want this. You care, and they don't. Or at least, they're smart enough not to show it, and that puts them on top, and you underneath. It's not in your head. There's an invisible rule working. Whoever shows they need it loses value. People measure your worth by how much you seem to not need them. If you chase, if you show excitement, if you make it clear that this matters, you give away dangerous information. You show you're invested, and that changes the whole game. It's like a reverse auction. Whoever wants it less is worth more. Whoever seems like they could leave any time gets respect. Whoever shows they want to stay becomes disposable. And everyone plays this game, wanting to or not, knowing it or not. You see it in the person who always starts conversations in the group. They send jokes, try to cheer people up, ask how everyone's day was, and people respond. But always a little less, always a little slower, because they already showed they'll try again. So why make an effort? You see it in the guy who always helps someone move, lends his car, gives airport rides at 5 in the morning, and everyone accepts. But when he needs help, everyone's busy, because he already proved he'll help again. He showed he's reliable, and too reliable becomes a doormat. You see it in the girl who always organizes the baby shower, the surprise birthday, the going away party. She remembers the date, buys the gift, decorates, and people show up. But when it's her birthday, they barely text, because she already proved she doesn't need reciprocity to keep doing it. She cares alone. And these people start noticing, start seeing the pattern, that the more they try, the less they receive, that the more they care, the less they're valued. And they have two choices: keep going and break, or stop and become like the others. Most choose to stop, and they learn to measure, to calculate, to never show they need it, to never show they care too much, and they become one more person playing the game of pretending not to care. But it leaves a mark. Because now they know, to be treated well, they need to pretend they don't care. To get attention, they need to withdraw it first. To be valued, they need to seem like whatever. And that's exhausting, because inside, they still care. They just learned to hide it. And there's an irony that hurts. The same people who pulled away when you cared are the ones complaining that everyone's fake, that nobody's real, that true friendship doesn't exist anymore. But when someone tries to be real, when someone shows they care, these same people step on them. It's like everyone wants someone who cares about them, but nobody wants to be the person who cares. Because everyone knows what happens. Everyone's seen it. A lot of people have been it, and learned not to be it again. Maybe you recognize this in some moment of your life. That day you realized you cared too much, showed too much, and felt the vibe change. These things stick. They keep turning over in your head. There's a way of looking at this that might make sense. Kafka wrote about people who were guilty before knowing what for. People judged for crimes nobody explained. And it's similar here. You care. And that, somehow, is already the transgression. Already the mistake. You don't need to do anything else. The simple fact of caring puts you in the wrong position. The judgment comes without warning, without accusation. People just start treating you different, colder, more distant. And you don't even know when it started. You just notice it's already happening. That you've already been judged, and didn't even get a chance to defend yourself, because there's nothing to defend. You didn't do anything wrong that can be pointed out. You just showed you care. And inside this invisible system that nobody created but everyone follows, that's enough. It's sufficient to put you underneath, and trying to explain doesn't help. Saying you just wanted it to work out, that you just cared. Because that only confirms it. Confirms you cared too much, that you were too invested, that you need it too much. And the more you justify yourself, the more guilty you seem. It's a system that feeds itself. You care, you're punished. You try to understand why, and that adds more punishment. Because now you're also asking for explanation. Asking for attention. Showing again that you care. And the system doesn't forgive those who care. Some people learn to navigate this, who figure out the game. How to measure, how much to show. These people develop a calculated coldness. They care, but don't let it show. And they live in a theater, where they feel one thing, but act like they feel another. And it works. Socially, it works. These people rise, are respected, have control. But there's a hidden price. Living knowing that if you're real, if you show what you really feel, you sink, so you're never real. Always an edited version, calculated, measured, and then you look around. Almost everyone's doing this. Almost nobody's being real. Because those who were real already learned it's not worth it. Already got beaten up enough, so now everyone plays the same game, pretending not to care. And this creates a weird world. Everyone wants connection, but nobody can show they want it. Everyone wants to be seen, but is afraid to show themselves. Everyone feels alone, but judges those who admit it. It's a prison of rules nobody wrote, but everyone obeys. Because the alternative seems worse. Caring openly and being crushed. Trying for real and being ridiculed. Showing you need it and becoming disposable. So people choose the prison. The performance, pretending. And there's a deeper layer. This rule isn't just about friendship. It's about work. It's about everything. If you show something matters too much to you, you lose negotiating power. You become a hostage. The designer who designs because they love it gets paid less than the designer who's just there for the money. Because whoever loves it will do it anyway. The employee who really wears the company shirt works weekends and doesn't get promoted. Because they already proved they'll do it without needing incentive. Whoever cares is already trapped. The world knows this and uses it. Uses until it exhausts, until the person gets tired, until they learn not to care or pretend not to care, or break trying to keep caring in a place that punishes those who care. It's a grinder. Takes people who care, who try, who dedicate themselves, and turns them into cynical people who learned not to care, or who hid it so well they forgot how to feel it without fear. And then comes a strange moment. When you finally stop, when you really give up, don't pretend, really let go, and people notice, and some come back. Try to pull you back, because now you're scarce. You're not available. You became interesting again, but you've already changed, already saw how it works. Understood, they only came back because you stopped, not because you matter, but because you stopped showing they matter. And that ruins anything that could be rebuilt. Because now you know it was a game. Always was. And this raises a question that won't leave. If the world punishes those who care, what's the path? Become stone, not feel. Or keep caring and accept the cost. Because there's cost on both sides, if you stop caring, you survive better socially. But you lose something internal. The ability to truly connect, to feel deeply, to truly be present. You become functional, but empty. But if you keep caring, you keep it alive inside. But out there, you get beaten. You're used, discarded. You become the one who's always available, always trying, always alone in it. And nobody talks about this dilemma. Because admitting it exists would be admitting the system is broken. That we built a way of living that punishes exactly what we say we value. Care, effort, dedication, real affection. We say we want this, but when someone offers it, we turn away. Distrust, think. Why is this person trying so hard? What do they want? And we pull back. Because someone who tries that hard seems weak, desperate, dangerous, in a strange way. So we prefer those who don't try, who don't care, who are there but could not be, because that person won't trap us, won't demand, won't expect reciprocation. They're safe because they don't need you. And then everyone becomes this, trying to be the person who doesn't need. And in the end, nobody needs anyone. Or rather, everyone needs, but nobody can show it. And we live in this theater where everyone pretends strength, pretends independence, pretends they're fine alone. But they're not. You know it, because you've felt it. That hole of caring alone, of trying alone, of caring alone. It's a specific loneliness. It's not just being alone. It's being alone while trying to connect. Knocking on a door nobody opens. Screaming where nobody listens. And the strange thing is, there are people on the other side. People who are also alone. Who also want connection, but who learned not to open. Because opening is caring. And caring is dangerous. So everyone stays locked, alone, waiting for someone to be brave enough to show they care first. But whoever shows becomes an example, becomes a warning. That person everyone remembers. Don't be like that. Don't care like that. Look what happened. And this perpetuates, generation after generation. Everyone learning. Don't care too much, don't show too much, don't care too much. And everyone gets a little colder, more distant, more alone. But there's something that won't leave your head. The system that punishes those who care wasn't created by a villain. There's no bad person deciding the rules. It's us. Everyone together, each person protecting their own power. And creating a place where nobody can be real. Because being real makes you a target, vulnerable. The one who can be hurt. And in a world where everyone's trying not to be hurt, being vulnerable is being foolish, weak, disposable. So, we learn to be hard, closed, cold, and we call it growing up, maturing, learning how the world works. But it's just fear. Fear of caring and paying the price. Fear of trying and being crushed. Fear of being real and being rejected. And this fear makes sense. Because rejection hurts, and rejection for caring hurts more. It's not rejection of what you do. It's of what you are. It's the world saying, your way of feeling is wrong. Your way of caring is too much. You are too much, and you swallow it. Try to be less, feel less, care less, and you succeed. You become acceptable, but you lose something. The part that mattered, and the doubt remains. Was it worth it? Now you have more people around, but shallow connections. You're more integrated, but you don't feel seen. You're following the rules, but the rules leave you empty. And a strange realization comes. Maybe the punishment for caring isn't the worst thing. Maybe the worst is living without caring about anything, without feeling anything deep, without having anything that moves you. Then you're safe, but dead inside. You can't be hurt, but you also can't be touched. Living like this is living halfway, breathing without feeling the air, being present without really being there. And the question returns. If the world punishes those who care, but not caring kills you slowly inside, where does that leave you? Is there a middle ground, or is it choosing which death you prefer? The answer isn't here. It's not in any easy place to find, because there's no clean answer for a dirty system. There's no right way to play a wrong game, just bad choices. And you try to choose the one you can live with. Some choose to care privately, keep it to themselves, never show it. They live in an internal prison where everything stays locked. Some care only about things, not people. They stay isolated, but productive. Some stop choosing, let life happen without participating. And some keep caring, knowing the price, paying it, hurt, but alive, really alive. They're the hardest to understand, because from the outside they seem foolish, weak, like they haven't learned. But maybe they learned something different, that living for real hurts. But not living hurts more slowly, deeper, in a way that doesn't pass. And they chose the pain that at least proves they still feel. And this thing remains loose. This question that doesn't close. This feeling that there's something more underneath it all. About how we built this world. About why we punish what we say we want. About what we're so afraid of that we created an entire system to avoid facing. Maybe the answer is in places we haven't really looked yet. Corners we avoid because they're uncomfortable. Truths we don't want to admit because they'd change everything. But those layers are for later. For now, what remains is recognition. If you've felt this, you're not alone. If you've been punished for caring, you saw something real. Something most people pretend doesn't exist. And if this way of looking at things touches something you already knew but didn't have words for, maybe it's worth keeping an eye on this, because there's more. There's always more underneath. And I'm going to keep digging.